Good evening, everybody, and it does look like we've got a bit of a poor connection. Doesn't look like that doesn't look good for starters. Not sure if you can see me. Anybody, if you can, let me know that you're there. But you know, poor connection doesn't look. Oh, we're live now. Aha, better connection there. Don't know what was happening there, but it is Wednesday the 6th of February 2019, and it's been another busy day here for me for the Golivegranny, and I am now here on the broadcast ready to go live for the for those of you watching on the live. Hi Tegan, and for those of you watching on the replay, a welcome to you too. So hi Jackie and Tegan, just getting up the page there. Hi Janet, how is everybody today? I've had a busy one, and I've been home, I suppose, about an hour and a half. But my plans, hi Mark, my plans changed from the original plan today. I have to say I wasn't up very early today because I was up late last night. I was doing knitting assignments. See the horses here? That black horse, he needs some eyes yet. There's a horse there, and there's lots more horses. Angela, Marianne, nice to see you all coming in. Lovely to see you there. I'm just trying to find the page. Always the last minute, Lil doing it at the last minute. I have been out and about. So I got up fairly late today, and I've been knitting because I'm on an assignment to finish. I've got 7 horses to finish, and they're all in various. Look, there's a horse without a head yet. There's another horse. No, that's a head. That's a head without a horse, and that's a horse without a head. But that head doesn't belong to that horse. That head belongs to that horse. That's a bigger horse. So I've got bits and pieces all over. I've been. There's the head for the other one. Hi, Nathan. Nathan, are you going for coffee in the morning? If you are, I'd like to catch up with you then. That would be nice. So anyway, let's just see. I'm going to get the comments up on this other phone because the computer doesn't feel like it wants to find the page. So let's get the page over here instead, and then I can see the comments coming up nearer, because otherwise I have to squint because you're up over there. So let's have a look. Deb's just sent me a message. Let me just send her a message back because she wanted to know if there she is. Hi Debs, I was just going to reply to you, and I see that you've made it into the broadcast. Well done. Debs is another of the lovely people I met when I was up in Kettering and Wellingborough last week at the Collab Club. I have made so many new friends from that event last week. And I'm delighted to see so many of them actually pushing the damn button and going live, and coming into the broadcast and sharing lots and lots of lovely things happening. There's Barbara Whedon. Hi Barbara. I will be doing a shout out in a minute for the event tomorrow. Tegan, you did send me the link, and you know, I've been out all afternoon. I haven't actually had time to read the article, so we will need to defer that. I will do it. Tegan wants me to discuss the use of plastic, or getting rid of plastic so that we don't have so much plastic in our oceans. But she sent me a link, and I've been so busy I haven't had time. Tegan, I will do it, but I just haven't had time, and I would rather research it first than just sort of start talking and not really knowing what I'm talking about. So hi Sandy. So if you will forgive me, Tegan, I will get that research. But today was quite manic. I did a lot of knitting because I'm on an assignment to finish all these horses this week, and I had plans when I go down into Ride. I like to put appointments back to back rather than go in one day and out and in one day and out and in, and I had 3 appointments, so I put them back to back today. So I had an appointment at 3, an appointment at 5, an appointment at 7. And earlier in the day, the 7 o'clock was the Ride Business Association, and the other 2 were people who wanted to learn new things that I was able to help them with. And so also I had to get to the station and buy my ticket for next week because I'm off on granny duty next week. And hang on. All right, yeah, okay. Tegan, if you can connect with Deb there, because that looks like a good link. Hi Benjamin, another one from Wellingborough last week. Princess Lambert here on the island. We have a good mix of people in the broadcast tonight. So this page is still not deciding it wants to come or not. It's over there. So let's just get the comments on here. I'm sorry folks, but dear oh dear. And Facebook keeps changing things, don't they? Have you noticed how everything's changing on Facebook at the moment? I was talking to Tristan earlier, and he was saying more changes are on the way. So I don't know if you know that, but things start glitching. When they start glitching, it means there's changes happening, apparently. So he told me. I have it on good authority. So there we go. So, right. Okay, we have you on here. So, yeah, so today I was going to go down at 3 o'clock. No, I wasn't. I was going to be collected at 3 o'clock and taken down to town for my first appointment. And what happened, I decided just that I would check with my 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock appointments that they were still okay today, that nothing had happened or whatever. And at the very minute I messaged my 3 o'clock appointment, she messaged me. I messaged to say, are you still okay for meeting today? And she messaged me at exactly the same time. It was spooky. She put, oh, spooky. And she was not well. So there was no 3 o'clock appointment today. Never mind. Doesn't matter. We have rearranged for another day. And that one will work out. That's somebody who wants to have a chat about, she's setting up her own business. I will tell you all about it when I know more about it. She's a young mum setting up her business and wants obviously some help and guidance on the connection. She's obviously got a lot of brilliant ideas from what I understand, but of course the network, learning and fitting into the network is where I can help, because obviously I've got my White Buzz group and I will be setting up some White Buzz network meetings, and anybody on the island who wants to come to those, they are not just for business people. Originally it was a network for businesses, but of course businesses do people with the public, don't they? So therefore, why shouldn't the public come into the meetings? It makes perfect sense to me, because if you're looking to do business, if you're doing sales to consumers, then you might want consumers in the room. If you're promoting a charity or an event like that, then you ought to have charities in the room. So I've made it a free network for anybody who wants to come, and the one criteria is, as it says on Kiva's Cafe counter, it's nice to be nice. So as long as you play nice and you're nice to each other, then you're welcome in my group. Other than that, I'm afraid I will have to, block you if you're not going to play nice. But my community always plays nice. And so, I'm sure there will be a lot of good connections coming up. So I've got to create some more meetings, some more network meetings. I'm looking for people who want to host. So if you've got a venue, if you've got business on the island, it doesn't matter where it is on the island. We do a lot in Ryde and Newport, but sometimes we go all the way over to the other side of the island. And that's a bit of a joke, because the island's only 26 miles one way and 14 miles the other way. But some people who think that going from one side of the to the other side of the island is like going on a mega trip. To me, who used to live in London and travelled a lot, it's just like, it's not very far at all, but it has become a bit of a joke on the island, going all the way over to the other side of the island. And so what hang on, I'm just, this isn't even coming up on here now. I don't know what's going on. This is really strange. Let's have a look. Let's see. I just don't know. Oh, here we go. We got it there. I can't see the comments coming up. I can see comments here, but because you're far away, be nice to be Spice. I'll be nice to be nice. There we go. And right, so sorry if I can't see your comments. I do go back and look at the comments, and I try and see them as they're coming up. Hi, Kate. There's lovely Kate. So as I was saying, my today's appointment's been rearranged, and then I went down. What I did, I went down to the station and I made sure I got my I had to renew my rail card, my senior rail card, which I use for getting reduced tickets on the train. and I've got a lot of journeys coming up. All of a sudden today, all 3 children want me, all in a very short space of time. So anyway, I've renewed my senior rail card. I've got my tickets to go to London next week because I am on granny duty next week. Not only am I on granny duty, I'm on total granny duty because I'm being left in charge of all 4 children at once on my own. I've only done that once before and I was shattered the last time I did it. But not it's we had a lot of fun. We have tremendous fun when we're together. I do spend a lot of time being what I call a proper grandma, you know, getting in and making cakes or doing sticking and glittering and or gardening or whatever the kiddies want to do. We have a lot of fun, and of course we are part of the time I'm going to be there is half term, so I will have a wonderful time. I'm going to have a wonderful time with them. I love it. You know, when they're in school, I don't get so much time with them, obviously, in the evenings, and then they have homework to do. But part of the time that I'm there is I'm going to be there over a weekend, which will be great. And then I'm going to be there, and I've got an idea of a few craft bits I'm going to do. I do want them to make some pom-poms because I've got a lot of the little smoothie hats that I've knitted that need pom-poms on, and they're very good at making pom-poms. So I shall request that they help me with that. They're very good knitters as well. I've taught 3 of them to knit. Alex wanted to learn to knit, and we had a little go, and I might have a little go and teach him if he wants to. If he doesn't want to, if he's changed his mind, that's okay. Barbara's in Cyprus. Oh, how nice for you, Barbara. Is it warm in Cyprus? I don't know what it's like this time of year. Over there, and just looking at the comments because I've now got them. Debs is waving. Yeah, and Nathan's saying he's going to be in coffee tomorrow. That'll be nice. I tend to do I go to a coffee morning on a Friday morning down at St James's Church in Ryde. Anybody in the Ryde area tomorrow, I'm sure you'd all be welcome. It's not a coffee morning I arrange, but I go down there with my brother and my sister-in-law, and we have, you know, Fridays. Actually, it's not Friday. It's not tomorrow, is it? Tomorrow is Thursday, and then it's Friday. Sorry, I've got myself confused again as to what day it is. It's Wednesday, isn't it? And so what I did today, I went down, got my tickets, and then I went to meet lovely Natasha in, and I met her in, hi Tracy, I met her in Olivio's. And I thought I was meeting for coffee and helping her with, she wants to set up a YouTube channel, and she wants to set up YouTube. Natasha is Russian. This is not Natasha that's my daughter. This is another Natasha that's part of the Isle of Wight style 50 plus group. So one of the older ladies, you know, not as old as me, but you know, in the same group that I'm in. That's where I met her. And she wanted to learn YouTube because she's got a lot of friends in Moscow. And hi Tracy. And she wants to show them the beauty of the Isle of Wight. So she wants to do it via YouTube. So I said I would teach her. And I thought I was teaching her and she was going to buy me coffee. No, I was teaching her, but she was going to buy me dinner. So we had a lovely dinner. And you know what? I'm so glad the Ryde Business Association meeting was postponed till next week, because I didn't realise I thought I was having coffee, teaching her, and then going to the meeting. And actually, we were still just finishing dinner at the time the meeting should have started, but it got postponed, so that was all right. So now, for some reason, the comments are not still coming up here. They're coming over there. 22 degrees in Cyprus. Oh, wish I were there. Yes, I think I might wish I was there, but I've got a lot of things to do here. Okay, I'll have a look. Now, Tegan has been sharing my YouTube channel out. And so I will look later, Tegan, and see whether the numbers have gone up. Hi, Amelia. Hope you're well. Amelia's another person here on the island. So we have a varied group in tonight. Now, Barbara is over in Cyprus, but Barbara's daughter, Hannah, that's right, isn't it, Barbara? Tomorrow night is leading her community choir. And so here we are. This is one of our hi Guy. This is a little commercial break coming up. The Medina Community Choir, they are fantastic. And last year somebody commissioned me to find them some men for something that was going on in their they were doing a fundraiser in the interval of their concert. Hi, Sarah and Tracy. Oh, you and Tracy's been to lunch at the Sloop today. Very nice. And so yes, and so they wanted me to find some men for them they were singing in the interval. They were singing "It's Raining Men," and they wanted men who were bare from the waist up. I nearly said from the waist down. No, sorry, from the waist up. And it was a fundraiser and going on in the interval, and I managed to help with their quest through the power of live stream to find them some of the men. I didn't find 100 men. I did find some men, and other people found men as well. So it was a team effort. Teamwork makes the dream work, as usual. Anyway, they are an amazing choir, and tomorrow night they are singing a thousand. I think it's 1,000 love songs. I'm not quite sure how long this concert's going on. If they're going to sing 1,000 love songs, maybe I've got it wrong. Maybe it's 100 love songs, but. I'm really looking forward to that. There are a few tickets left, folks. So if anybody wants tickets for that, Medina Theatre box office is the place to go for that. Google that. I haven't got the details in front of me. I know it will be a fantastic concert. I'm really looking forward to that. And so that's where I shall be. Now, if I'm not back, I don't know what time the concert finishes. I may not be back for 10 o'clock tomorrow night. I have a feeling I might not be back for 10 o'clock tomorrow night for the broadcast. I might either broadcast from there afterwards or from the bus on the way home. Who knows what I'll do. But I will try and get a broadcast in there somewhere. I might broadcast from in the interval from there and do a quick broadcast. I'll see. I'll do something. I won't let you down, folks. But that's anybody who wants a ticket to that. I think the tickets are £8 and £6. It will be a fantastic money's worth. It will be really good. And then they are going on. I did notice that they're singing in Cowes shortly, which I can give another plug for that, but I haven't got it in front of me for a minute. But they're singing at Cowes Baptist Church, and then they're going on to sing at the Carnegie Hall in New York, and that sounds pretty amazing to me. So we wish them well on that one. But as I say, I will report from Medina tomorrow and let you know how it's going. But do come along if you're free. And you want to have a good evening, then do come along. If you're here on the island, come along tomorrow night and enjoy it for yourself. So there are tickets left, or there were tickets left. I don't know if they've sold out, but I did inquire earlier. So that's something good and exciting going on there. So this evening it was really fun teaching Natasha how to use YouTube. So we set her YouTube channel up, and but it takes 24 hours for it to actually be able to use it. So what we did, we went onto my YouTube channel and I showed her how to go live on YouTube. Now it's funny because I always do my lives on Facebook. I do my lives on Facebook, and then when you finish the broadcast, you have to hit the share button to share it back to Facebook. But I always hit the save button as well to save it to my camera roll, so that I can save it from my camera roll and put it on YouTube as well. So it's on YouTube and on Facebook, and then also it goes up to Google Photographs as well. Tristan always told me never have all your stuff on one platform only. Supposing, for instance, that I only ever had all my stuff on Facebook, and I've got hundreds of videos on Facebook. Supposing tomorrow Mark Zuckerberg decided that he wanted to switch the whole lot off. I don't think it's likely to happen, but it could do. Some of the platforms that used to be there have gone, and so all my videos would disappear in the blink of an eye. So we're not having any of that nonsense. I think somebody said that, Tracy. Tracy's saying, did she read that they can't get insurance for the umbrella tree? I'm pretty sure that Tegan put that up the other day. I've got to catch up with all these things because I'm behind with all my reading, and so much has happened, and I've been away and I'm going away again, and it's just so much happening that I'm struggling to keep up. But I'm pretty sure that was a headline the other day. And so Tegan might just remind you. You didn't know, so Tegan didn't know how to go live on YouTube. Well, do you know what? I didn't know how to go live on YouTube until the other day, and I actually did my first live on YouTube last week, which is good because I was teaching Natasha how to do it today, and you have to have really need to have done it yourself in order to teach it, and so I was able to do it. When I first went live, I struggled to see how to go live, and then I found the live button and pushed the button. But when I finished, I couldn't find, there wasn't anything that said stop the broadcast. And I fiddled around. I think there was a little cross in the corner in the end that I found, but I was fumbling around to find out how to do it. So I now hope I've done it. And what's great about if you stream on YouTube, then it loads straight to YouTube. You don't have to load it up. But of course, I do like to save to camera roll because, again, if YouTube for any reason wasn't there, they'd all be gone. So so I've got to think around, whether I'd still do it the way I'm doing it on Facebook and then to YouTube. I do want the YouTube channel to grow. So if any of you haven't been to my YouTube channel, it would be really good if you go and subscribe there. All these live streams that I do here, I put over there. But if ever you wanted to find any of them, you'd find them quicker on YouTube, I think, than you would on Facebook. And so they'll be all up there. I'm slowly loading them, and I've got a whole load that have been loaded up, but they're set to private at the moment because I haven't put the descriptions and the headers in, and I haven't put all the tags on. I've just loaded them quickly because I've been streaming more than one live stream a day, and last week at the conference I did loads of videos that they've all got to be tagged, and it's just not enough hours in the day at the moment to do it all. But I will work my way through it bit by bit. I'll get there in the end, but it's quite a long process of doing it. But people are finding them. They're finding, YouTube is the second biggest search engine in the world, and people are finding my carnival videos from last year, my carnival live streams, all the events, the Isle of Wight. So I've got 2 channels over there that are the ones I'm using at the moment, and so there's a Lynn Blackledge channel, and there's a Isle of Wight .live channel. So if you want to find them, put those into the search bar in YouTube, and I'm sure you'll find them. And I wouldn't mind you giving me a bit of love, subscribing to the channel. That will be great, because if we can get that channel up and up and up, lots more people are going to see, and lots more people are going to be sharing that. Now, Tegan's saying she sent the umbrella tree. Can't remember when you sent it though. Tracy, what I'll do after the broadcast, I'll find it and send it to you. It's just that I'm just haven't had, as I say, not enough hours in the day at all. So let's have a look. And this still isn't coming up on there. I've still only got, hang on. Still struggling to get to see what's happening here. So the comments, I can't see the comments here at all. I'm having to squint over here. So anyway, as I say, it's been a busy day today, and a wonderful day. So I've done loads. I've done lots of knitting, done lots of helping with YouTube. So but it's quite interesting because Natasha's first language is not English, and and I don't speak Russian, but between us we managed to have a very good evening, and I managed to show her exactly how to do it. And while I did it, Tristan gave me a top tip. I took my laptop and I forgot to charge it up. Forgot to charge it up, Jackie. I was showing, and I was showing Natasha all the equipment that I got, all the lovely equipment that people have been sponsoring for me. So I got it out. But of course, when you go live, you don't have to have fancy equipment. You just need a smartphone. And that's all you need, a smartphone, a data plan, and and a connection, and that's all you need to go live. And I started by using a cup. I stood the first lives I ever did, I stood my phone in a cup and did it that way and balanced it up. I now have tripods and stands, and I've got a wonderful gimbal that I've been using. I was so excited because I didn't know how to use the gimbal, and I wanted to get on and do it. Hi, bye, night, Janet. I wanted to use the gimbal, but I was a little bit almost scared to use it because it's got mechanism in it, and I didn't want to damage it. I wanted to do it properly. And last week at the Collab Club conference, there were people there were experts there who showed me how to use the gimbal. So tonight I was showing Natasha the gimbal. And for anybody who doesn't know what a gimbal is, it's a gadget where I can put my phone in it, and when I don't use a gimbal, if I have to hold my phone, say, up in the air to get a shot over people's heads, and my arm wobbles, the camera will wobble. If I put my phone in a gimbal, my arm will wobble, but the camera will stay still because it balances it out. It's a very, very clever piece of equipment. And I'm still working the mechanics of it, but I did have it out tonight showing, and I have done some videos with it already. And now I want to go on. I want to progress and to put because I know that I can do Facebook Live through it. But again, there's all sorts of learning bits. So it's fascinating. I'm very keen to learn it all. And so I will be having another practice with that, and getting some stuff out there. As I say, I have used it already, so that's great. There we go. Debs is it's lovely to see you all chatting to each other in the comments. Oh, the pages looks like it's coming up now. Oh, let's see if we can get some comments on there, because my phone is not giving me the comments. I don't know why that is. Sometimes the equipment it tries to defeat me all the time, but I get there. I managed to get there. Hang on, let's have a look. No, it's not doing it. Anyway, so tomorrow, as I say, I've got a wonderful evening to look forward to with the concert. I've also now, my head was spinning earlier because I was going down to the station to book the tickets for granny duty, and I just was checking with my daughter just to make sure I got the dates right. And then she was saying, oh, I want you to come up at Easter time as well. And so tonight I've had to confirm with her what date she wants me at Easter, because also Tristan wanted me to be doing something up in the Kettering Wellingborough area, and at the same time my other son was saying, Mum, we want to give you last year's birthday present. They promised me a weekend in Bath to be taken, sort of sometime now. And so we were trying to fit those dates in, and they're all very close to each other, but none of them clashed. Fortunately, they didn't clash. I was thinking, how am I going to do this, be in 3 places at the same time? But they didn't clash. They might run almost on from each other, but they didn't clash. I'm in great demand at the moment, but loving it. I'd rather be in demand than sort of sitting on my own, nobody wanting to know. And of course there are now people who want me to help them with doing their social media, and I love it. So don't get me wrong at all, I absolutely love it. So people wanting me to help with their social media, help them set up YouTube channels, help to connect them with other businesses. It's not a black cat. Oh, he's a horse. Look, it's a horse. It's not a cat. Look, he's got a mane. It's not this is a horse. I don't know. I have to... This is a piebald. Look, a horse. There we go. So, he needs some eyes. He hasn't got any eyes yet. Whoops. Whoa. There we go. A horse, my kingdom for a horse. So, no. So... Oh dear. Ruby's not in the broadcast, or she'd be calling it an elephant. Absolutely, Tracy. Yes, my granny duty and my children, they are very special to me. I mean, everybody's special to me, but obviously granny duty, very, very important to me. Spending my time with my own children, so there's Toby, who's in Manchester, Tristan, so Toby's the firstborn, Natasha's the secondborn, so I have a Natasha as well. She's got 4 children. Toby and Cheryl are expecting their first, and that's very exciting because I'm going to be granny to grandchild number 5 in June, so that's really exciting. And then my youngest is Tristan, and he's the one who helps me with all the social media stuff. Toby is a geek, in that he's a backroom boy. He does computers, and he set up my website. Actually, I'm not using my website very much because I use social media much more, but he also hosts that sort of thing, and so he's good on that side of information, and Tristan's good on all the helping me with all the social media type stuff, had a long chat with him today. Actually, I've chatted to all 3 of them today. It's just so nice to be able to keep in contact wherever they are in the world. They are all in the UK now, but they have had times when they've been round the world. Toby was in Australia for a while. Tristan was in Australia for a while. But you never need to lose contact, do you? Because there's so many ways. And with the fact that you can actually see face to face, they might be in Australia, but actually seeing them face to face is just, it brings them much nearer. I remember my first husband said years and years and years ago, when I was a young mum, he said to me, one day you'll be able to see the person that you're talking to on the phone. And I thought, wow, that would be amazing. And of course we've reached that now. It is wonderful. My brother and my sister-in-law, David and Sandra, they have 2 sons who are living abroad. They've both married girls from abroad, and they are both living abroad now. But it's amazing that they do FaceTime every week. They have a certain time when they talk to their boys and the girls, and they can see them, and it's just amazing, isn't it? To embrace the technology. But I've said this many times recently. I can remember when I wanted a phone to be just a phone. I didn't want it to do anything else. I wanted it to be just a phone. But now I wouldn't have it any other way, that it does all these things. And of course, that phone that I'm talking on has my SIM card in it. This is my old phone that doesn't have my SIM card in it. So this now is anything but a phone because it doesn't have a SIM card. But of course, when I'm on Wi-Fi, when I'm picking up Wi-Fi, this can take me to Facebook or anything that's on the internet. I can connect with this. So this one now is anything but a phone. So I find it quite amusing that that I now have 2 gadgets, and this one is not a phone, but is everything else but. So anyway, I'm going to have a look. I can see lots of people liking the pages. We are extending the group is growing big time. Natasha's popular name. You've got a Natasha, Tracy, have you? My daughter is 40. When I chose Natasha for my daughter, it was not a very common name. And the Natasha that I was with tonight is older. She's in the 50 plus group that I belong in. So technology is amazing. Oh yes, Tracy's remembering the old phones. I'd never quite had one of those that was on a stick, like that, where you picked it up like that. The very old ones. I remember Dr. Finley's casebook, and the receptionist used to pick up that bit, talk into this bit, and take that bit, and it used to say "Arden juice." Was a bit. That's my take on an American on a Scottish accent. Not very good, I know, not at all. But Tracy's remembering the old phones where you had to dial the numbers all round to ring the people. That's right. And then I'll tell you a funny incident about. So we went from the dial phones to the push button phones, and I remember one day, my first husband, managed to drop soup. He'd got a cup of soup at the side of the bed, and he managed to knock the soup into the telephone, and it stuck all the buttons up. And I remember him having a conversation with the telephone engineer, saying the buttons were stuck. And I remember this conversation, and I remember the person at the other end apparently said, "Well, you're not supposed to feed the phone, And it was French onion soup. It was not good to put French onion soup in your phone. I don't suppose it's good to put any soup in your phone, but particularly not French onion soup." That's right. Yes, Tegan. So now, of course, this one, because it's not got a SIM card in, it's acting like an iPod and an iPad. That's brilliant. So there we go. Lots of comments coming in there. So I am going to read now 13. Yours is 30. Sorry, I've lost what you were answering there, Tracy. That's what happens sometimes. I forget what the question was when I see the answer coming up. But there we go. So anyway, let's read. Let's have some more out of the 100 things to pick you up when you're feeling down. Not that I'm feeling down. Sticky keys. Mama said, got your halfpenny, got your hanky, got your apple. 3 things she could do anything if you had them. What 3 things do you need? Okay, there we are. What 3 things does Deb need? No, sorry. Debs is saying, what 3 things do you need? She's saying, Mum said, got your halfpenny, got your hanky, got your apple. Her 3 things she could do anything if you had them. What 3 things do you need? I think most people need one thing, and it's their phone. Most people are not attached to their phone. One of the things, though, although I am very attached to my phone, I do like time when I oh, you're Natasha is 13, sorry. You know, some people never seem to detach from their phone, and I do try not to use my phone. I mean, sometimes I do just look at the comments quickly if I'm, you know, with other people, but I try not always to do that, because I think it's nice to have time without the phone. We live so much on our phones. I do check, you know, I just check, because I always want to make sure that if my children are in trouble, they can get hold of me. So I always, you know, check to see if it's them. Some of the messages I won't deal with straight away. If it's not one of my children, and I'm busy doing something else, then other people have to wait. But I would hate to think that my children needed me in an emergency and I didn't answer. So I do have my phone set to in the late at night not to ring, except you can set it so that my children's numbers can come through and not the others. And you know that sorry, there's a conversation going on there. I'm trying to keep up with the conversations there and still talk, and it's defeating me. Multitasking, can't do it. Sometimes I can. It depends what it is. I can knit and watch films. I can knit and listen to audio books, but something I can't talk and watch the conversation at the same time. That's being a little bit difficult. So anyway, right, let's go on with this little book. And on the back it says, lift your spirits with this little book full of delightful ideas and quotes to help you look on the bright side of life. And that's what we're doing. It says pick you up when you're feeling down. I'm not feeling down. I'm feeling very upbeat. Lots of lovely people all keep coming into my broadcast. Lots of new people I keep meeting all the time. Lots of knowledge to be shared. Lots of people sharing their knowledge with me, and me sharing my knowledge out as well. So it's a, as they said at the conference last week, it's a phenomenal time to be alive. But it's, you know, it's always nice to have lots of positive things going on. So we're going to read positive stuff here. Yeah, okay. Marianne's saying the same. I only have my phone on during school time and it's switched off when they are home. Right. I do need a shelf to put these books up. I have so many of these books. I must get them out because I've got lots and lots of these books. And over there behind where the phone is, that's my kitchen area behind there. I've got a kitchen, lounge and office all in one big room. And so behind the camera is the kitchen. Over to that side is the fridge. Next down to the fridge behind my desk I've got all these in a pile, and I want to see if I can find somebody who will put some shelves up so they can all sit on the shelves and they're easier to get at. But these books all come from number 66 in Union Street in Ryde, and I did live stream from there the other day. I showed you the book rack where they were, and there were more books looking at me that I hadn't got. It's another dangerous place for me to go. I always have to lock my purse up if I go in there. Anyway, it's the best of all trades to make songs, and the second best is to sing them. And that's Hilaire Belloc. And Hilaire Belloc, she used to write cautionary tales. I know I read a lot of cautionary tales in my school days to the children because they were quite fun. So I'll have to get some cautionary tales out and read them to you sometime. So top tip number 28. Discover radio. Listen to your choice of music or drama and let your imagination get to work. Now, I told you before, I often sit here without noise on in the background because life is so noisy and so living in the fast lane. Sometimes it's nice just to be quiet, and my flat is nice and quiet, and I never hear noise from my neighbours. Downstairs is garages, so the only things that might be down there might be mice in the garages, so that I get no noise from below. And next door is a family, and I never ever hear them. I'm joined that side. The other side I'm not joined. There's a gap between me and the house next door, and I just love the quiet. But sometimes, just recently, yesterday and the day before, I had Radio Solent on. Just a little bit of listening there, and today I had Isle of Wight radio on, but a lot of the time I don't. I just like the quiet, you know, when everything else is so noisy. Sometimes nice not even to have the radio on, but you know, it's nice to have the radio sometimes. So let's go on to number 29. It says, make something out of clay. This is funny. I'll tell you why in a minute. Using your hands to create something, a bowl, a decorative piece, or an abstract sculpture, is calming and therapeutic. And you know something that I just started to do? I've just downloaded onto my phone. Yes, I do need peace. I've just downloaded onto my phone an app called Stop Motion, and it's an app. It's, if you know Morph, the little character Morph that's made out of plasticine, and he moves around. It's Stop Motion is how you do that sort of action. So you'll have him in one little place, and then you'll do a quick click on the camera, and then you'll move him and click and click and click as he moves. And I've just started having a play around with that sort of thing. Hang on, let me just see what Tracy's saying. Tracy, you are so right. Some young mums these days spend too much time on their phones. I've been on a bus where kids have been calling mum, and mum's too busy on their phone. That upsets me. It upsets me, Tracy, too. I've seen it many, many times, and I think the poor children, actually, I feel like saying, hey, you know, your child will be grown up by the time you look up from your phone, and it's very important. You know, I remember when my first child was born, the health visitor said to me, oh, you do talk to your baby, don't you? And I thought, what a funny question. Of course I talk to my baby. But then it occurred to me that obviously a lot of people don't necessarily do that unless they're told to do it. In my world, it was a natural. But then I suppose that's because I don't stop talking, maybe. But you know, it was a natural to me. And being a teacher, I know that, you know, the more communication you have, the better the language skills of the children and the babies. And so to me, at 5, you know, I was chatting away to my baby there, where, you know, even when he was just days old and that, whatever. But it's sad to see, Tracy, I know exactly what you mean. Hi, Sunita. So I know exactly what you mean. I've watched these young mums, and I think, do you know what? It's going to be such a shame when those children have grown up and you've actually ignored them all that time. I don't know whether they have parenting classes where, you know, those sort of things can be recommended, because perhaps they just don't understand if they've never been taught that's, you know, that's something that they should do. You know, we have to think of these things. Have they ever been taught that, you know, that they need to put their phones down and they need to talk to their children? And then I see some mums who are wonderful, absolutely wonderful with their children, and, you know, lots of talking and singing and reading books on the bus and that sort of thing. I've seen some amazing ones. So you know, it's nice to see. I actually often compliment the young mums if I've seen them do that, bearing in mind I was a school teacher, and I could tell. I was a reception class teacher, and then a nursery. I ran my own nursery school. I could tell which mums spoke to their children and which didn't. It was so obvious that, you know, the families where they had a lot of communication, you know, you could just tell which were which. So, but what was I saying? Oh yes, making something out of clay. And so I've got this new app on my phone. And last night I was looking at YouTube and watching some of the stop motion YouTube videos that are there, so that I could get an idea, because I want to have a play. You know, I like to be creative, and I want to make some of these little stop stop go animation things, like the little morphs and things like that. So I need to get myself some clay, which I haven't got any yet, so I should get some clay and I shall have a play around. I shall watch some more of these things on YouTube, because I think, you know, every day's a school day and it's always fun to learn new things, and you're never too old to learn new things. So having a little play, and maybe get some Lego and make some little Lego characters, you know, dance around, or maybe make my knitted characters dance around and do different things. You know, there's such a lot of possibilities there, so I'm going to have a play around with that. So that's quite funny that it said make something out of clay. So first get my clay and then I'll make something out of clay. I think they probably do clay or something like that down in the works, and of course I'm always in the works, and it's you know, it's dangerous now it's come to Ryde, because when it was in Newport I had to go to Newport if I wanted to go to all the works, and now if I'm in Ryde I just happen to drift into the works all the time. There's so many wonderful things in there, and you know, I just love it. So much fun. So right, okay, let's see. So variety is the soul of pleasure. And that's just a little quote in this book, and that's Afra Ben. Some of these names challenge me. I told you before, you know, all the time there's ones that I can't pronounce. And now let's go on to top tip number 30. Read a book that will give you pleasure and escape into another world for an hour or two. Choose one with a compelling story, a life-changing event, triumph over adversity, or a traditional happy ending. Well, of course, I've told you, I think I've told you before, a lot of you will know, I prefer Audible. I prefer to listen to a book rather than actually read it. And I think it stems from the time that I was a late reader at school and didn't enjoy it. I don't enjoy reading for pleasure. I enjoy reading for information. But now, of course, now I can listen to books. So I have this subscription to Audible, and I have a new book every month, and I will listen to a book several times, whereas I would barely read it once. You know, so it's, and a lot of the books I listen to are actually business related books, but I want to go on to doing some of the autobiographies and biographies, and learning lots more about different people out there. So, you know, there's so much, so many different ways of learning, but reading a book obviously is one of them. And they'd say a traditional happy ending. I do like going to a film, so I could do my knitting and watch a film, and I do like the happy endings. And you know, why not? I know life isn't always like that, but actually we can escape into that world sometimes. And I do like, if I'm going to watch a film, I like to have one that's got a happy ending. Hi Steve, nice to see you. So like you did with your pig. Oh yes, Tegan's talking about my my piglets. I did stop go motion. If you look on my Lins and Needles page, which is my page for my knitting, I think it's on there. I did a stop go motion with my piglets, and they were dancing around on a purple piece of cloth. So there we go. Lots of people in the broadcast tonight. Lots of people coming in and out, making lovely comments. Nice to see that you all chat to each other as well. Now it says, this is a quote by Martha. Oh, it's got yellow writing on a white page. That is so hard to read. A good book is the best of friends, the same today and forever. And it's a quote by Martin Tupper. So quote number, let's have a couple more quotes, 31 and 32, and then we'll go on to Butterfly Whispers. So quote number 31, bring some variety into your life. They say variety is the spice of life, don't they? Rather than following your normal daily routine, think about what you really want to do right now. Fancy going for a bike ride? Rather than going straight home after work, go for it. I can't see me learning to ride a bike now at my age. I know that you're never too old to do these things. Maybe a tricycle. I think my sister's got a tricycle. Maybe a tricycle, but I don't actually fancy going for a bike ride. That's not something that I would enjoy very much. But, you know, if you do, then why not give it a try? And top tip number 32. Comfort food is wonderful for soothing the soul. hot buttered toast, tomato soup, eggs and bacon. Treat yourself to whatever takes your fancy and savour every mouthful. Now, I can't have hot buttered toast, not anymore. I can have the tomato soup, I can have eggs and bacon, any of that, but I can't have hot buttered toast because I am now on a grain-free diet. And I went grain-free. Lovely Tina helped me to go grain-free when I had a skin problem. I know some of you will have already heard me refer to that, but of course we've got new viewers coming in all the time, so I have to bring them up to speed. For 5 years I had a skin problem, and it was only when I spoke to my lovely friend Tina Hyde that she said, take the grain out of your diet. And I did, and within 5 weeks, after a 5-year problem, within 5 weeks my skin started to clear up, and mostly it stayed clear. Occasionally there'll be a little patch that might be a bit itchy, and that might be if I've been a bit naughty or if I had something I didn't know. I have been a bit naughty, but you know, I need to get back on track. I need to be good, but so much better. My health is so much improved, so that's great. So there we go. Let's put the marker in ready for tomorrow. Oh, I might not read tomorrow because I'm going to be, as I say, I'm going to be out tomorrow night, and I might be back in time, or I might record from the bus or whatever, but I might not have the book with me. And so finally, Butterfly Whispers. Let's read for today's date. Oh my goodness, isn't the month whipping by? You know, we already part way into the second month of the year. I don't know where that time went. So it's the 6th of February 2019. It says, whoops, on this one. How confused was I when I ordered a black coffee in a coffee house to be asked if I wanted regular, tall or grand. 1 short or 2, decaf or fully loaded, medium or rich roasted. And don't you find that now? I never know. I just want an ordinary coffee. What is an ordinary coffee? What do they call an ordinary coffee these days? I replied, normal, straight, up as it comes. No milk and no sugar, please. She then asked, flavoured syrup? It got me thinking, do we overcomplicate our lives? Do we fill our lives with extra shots of frothy milk? Admittedly, it's nice to have some variety, like a flavoured syrup on occasion. But if we overdo it, don't we miss out on enjoyment of the coffee? Enjoy what's important to you today. Normal, straight up as it comes. And that appeals to my sense of humour because, yes, I found exactly that. You know, there are too many choices sometimes. And, you know, what's wrong with a good old plain coffee? Is there anything you really miss that you used to eat since going grain-free? No, Tracy, really no. It's amazing because I used to have a lot of bread and a lot of pasta and that sort of thing, you know, rice and pasta. I don't. There's so much stuff that I can have, and of course, with the internet now, it's amazing. You know, if I'm not quite sure of something, I'll either ping Tina a message. I might be in the supermarket and I'm looking at something and I'm not quite sure, so I would take a picture of it and of the ingredients and ping it across to Tina, who helps me and says yes or no and guides me. And I was asking her something the other day, and she pinged a message across because last week when I was in Wellingborough at the conference, Mark Burrito was there, and he was he runs the keto fitness club, I think it's called. Sorry, I've just blanked for a minute. And he had some amazing carrot cake, and it was delicious. I was able to have it because it had no grain in it. And I've got the recipe for it now, so I shall be making it myself. And I wanted to check with Tina how the keto diet and the grain-free, what the you know, the crossover is. And she's kept me, you know, she's advised me. I used to have loads of bread and hot buttered toast, like it said in the book. And do you know, I don't miss it at all. I really don't. I feel so much healthier. And there's loads of things that I have a lot of sweet potatoes and roasted veg and that sort of thing. I do a lot of chickpeas, kidney beans, all those sort of things now, which weren't part of my diet before. I'm going to make some hummus because, of course, with chickpea you can make hummus with your own hummus with chickpea. And of course, if I do that and I use sticks of vegetables and things, that will be a good thing to snack on. you know, because what I don't want to do is fall off the wagon and feel, but actually when you go grain free, you feel much less hungry. And I did lose some weight as well, because I'd put weight on because I was very sedentary. I wasn't getting up and going out, because my leg was so bad. I put on a lot of weight. And so, you know, then when I started on the grain free, I lost some weight, which was great. Still got more to go, but I feel so much healthier. And now I've said, you know, I might like to be sponsored in a car, but I would only like it 1 week a month, because I don't want to not be doing the exercise. And by not having a car, I have to walk to bus stops. I have to do walking, and I enjoy it very much. And I know that if I had a car, if somebody said, here, Lynn, you know, we'll sponsor you in a car, which has happened before, I wouldn't want it all the time, because I so enjoy. First of all, it was a bit of a, oh my goodness, I've got to go on the bus. But actually I enjoy it so much because there's a wonderful networking opportunity. I talk to so many people. I've met so many people on the bus, made so many friends through just being on the bus. I've had people see me knit on the bus who want me to teach them to knit. Some of them I've just started on that. I've even sold knitting for charity on the bus. I couldn't do that if I was driving a car, could I? And so that only charity stuff. I wouldn't do anything else, but it was for charity. So that I got away with that one. And so there are so many plus things that have happened, and so, you know, since I went grain free, and I do feel so much healthier. It's unbelievable, and lots of people have commented on how healthy I look now, so it's great. So I you know, I recommend it to a lot of people. You know, because I feel so healthy, and I know that grain free is not just for helping skin problems. It will help so many other problems. So if you want to know more about it, let me know, because I can put you in touch with Tina. I'm trying to encourage her to write her book. So she's going to write a book, and she's going to develop this a lot more. And the reason, she's not a nutritionist herself, but she was very ill herself and she wasn't getting answers, so she's researched it all herself. She's done a huge amount of research, and so I'm now a beneficiary of that. So I was the first person she helped, and I know she's helping more people now. It's wonderful. So, you know, if there's anything that you're worried about that you think might help with a change of diet, because they say we are what we eat, and of course it's not so much the grain itself, it's what's on the grain. It's the stuff they spray the grain with. That's the dangerous stuff. So anyway, enough about my diet now. It's getting late. We do need to finish up. I'm going to do a little bit more knitting of my horses, trying to get my orders finished. Might have a little bit. I'm going to probably watch a bit of YouTube tonight. Last night I was watching Would I Lie to You? Lots of the old programs, and they are so funny. I don't know if you know them, but David Mitchell and Lee Mack are so funny. They lead a team each on there, and it's just a hilarious program. And it just, Lee Mack is so quick-witted. He's made a funny quip answer to somebody's remark almost before they've made the remark. It's unbelievable. But anyway, you know, I love it. It makes my happy hormones come out. I should watch The Burrowers, should I? Right, okay, I might do that. I'm always up for the little people. I used to help little people. I used to be a nursery school teacher, but not quite that little, you know. So I will. I'll have a look at that, Tegan, and you know, I'll see if I can find that. But for now, I'm going to go. Love you and leave you. Don't forget, tomorrow night I may or may not be on at 10, but I will try and be on at some stage in the evening, even if it's in the interval of the Medina Community Choir event. And if you can get there, it's well worth it. You know, if you can hear them sing, they are an amazing choir. Local people, you know, an amazing choir. So I'm going to really enjoy that. And so I will catch you up with you. Thank you for those of you actually watching now. And I know that quite a lot of my viewers watch on the replay, because 10 o'clock plus is a bit late. And I understand that, because some of my viewers start their days very early. So 10 o'clock is, you know, way past their bedtime. So, you know, if you are one of those later people, it doesn't matter. You're no less valuable than, obviously you can't join in the conversation the same way, but you know, we love to have you coming in and getting value out of it. So don't forget, folks, if you would want to try and share my YouTube channels, that's Lynn Blackledge and Isle of Wight.live channels, that would be great. Let's see if we can start building those up. If any of you have got events that you need a shout out for, don't forget, you know, this is my megaphone. I can amplify your message here. So let me know any of those things, and any charity causes, anything. Oh yes, don't forget, Tracy, another call out for Tracy, Tracy here in the broadcast. She is selling raffle tickets for the Keysy Kindness charity, which is helping to put smiles on children's faces. And there's some raffle prizes. The tickets are £2 each. When the tickets are all sold, then they will draw the raffle. I think they've got they got a couple, some nice prizes. I think it's a Pizza Hut voucher, I think, and a lovely flower arrangement. One or the other, I'm not quite sure there, but it's worth it, and it will support a local charity. But lots of charities out there that need supporting. So just keep the information coming in, folks, because I'm more than happy to share any of your posters out. If you've got events coming up, it's much easier for me to share if you've created a Facebook event page. I've got to create one myself for my next Tuesday chat, because I've got another person that I'm interviewing next Tuesday. I interviewed lovely Maddie yesterday. Next Tuesday I should be interviewing Katie from Kettering. Katie from Kettering. Oh, that's alliterative, isn't it? And I'm really pleased with her, because she heard me speak at the conference last week, and she went out and she did her first live stream, and I think she's done more than one live stream now, so that's amazing. High five to Katie. Not sure if she's in here tonight. So there we go. So I will be doing my own event thing. So anybody else got events, let me know, so that we can give it a push and everybody can share, because sharing is caring. So both together, £30 Pizza Express voucher and the floral display. So that's lovely. You know, they're working so hard. Tracy and Nikki, Nikki was the little girl's mum, the little girl in whose memory this is all being done. Some amazing work being done over there in East Cowes. But also, you know, lots of charity work going on the island, and we can support lots of these causes if we can share it all out together. So thank you so much for your time. I value it very much, and I am going to go now and get my knitting needles out. I think I might make myself a cup of tea and have a bit more knitting before I finish off for the night. See you all again soon. Bye.